Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. And Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on these flash floods. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and the Lord's will, you're edified. It says flash flood danger is far from over as storms reload across U.S. Additional dangerous flash flooding incidents are likely in the coming days as high humidity, daytime heat, and storm systems interact from the Atlantic seaboard to the plains, Gulf Coast, and Southwest. It says high humidity levels, summer heat, and long days will combine to produce conditions favorable for drenching thunderstorms, leading to additional flash flooding in the coming days in the eastern, central, and southwestern United States, AccuWeather meteorologists warn. There has been a swarm of flash flooding incidents in several parts of the U.S. in recent weeks. Anytime there is a great amount of moisture in the atmosphere and a front, storm, or jet stream fluctuation occurs, tremendous rainfall can be released. Slow-moving thunderstorms with torrential rain are a frequent trigger for flash flooding in the United States, especially during the warmer summer months when the amount of moisture in the atmosphere peaks. AccuWeather meteorologists have outlined flash flooding trouble spots for the days ahead. Some areas recently hit by flooding may be impacted again, while other regions could face heavy rain for the first time in this pattern. A few spots like central Texas are expected to catch a break. Multiple weather systems will contribute to the ongoing flood risk across different parts of the country into next week. A tropical rainstorm will travel along the north-central Gulf Coast into Thursday. As this occurs, the tropical rainstorm may evolve into a tropical depression or tropical storm. Regardless, tremendous rainfall will be unleashed where it moves inland and stalls over the Gulf Coast states. Dangerous and destructive flash flooding and rises on area rivers are anticipated as inches of rain pour down from midweek to this weekend, with the apex likely to be in Louisiana and western Mississippi. Another area at risk for flash flooding due to a similar setup as in the Northeast will stretch from southern Nebraska to parts of western Michigan and includes the metro areas of Chicago and Rockford, Illinois, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Madison, Wisconsin, Des Moines, and Davenport, Iowa. This risk will span through early Thursday. After a lull from later Thursday to Friday, a new risk for torrential downpours will follow for the weekend in a large part of this area and will likely be accompanied by severe thunderstorm activity in some locations. Okay, this article's going to go on forever. The tropical moisture from the storm near the Gulf Coast is forecast to be pulled northward during the weekend. At the same time, a frontal zone will be stretched from northwest to southeast from the northern plains to the Ohio Valley. Rainfall of 1 to 4 inches is forecast in parts of the Midwest from this weekend to early next week, with locally higher amounts. The AccuWeather local storm max rainfall for this area is 10 inches. The repeating nature of downpours and thunderstorms in this zone can lead to flash flooding in urban areas and quick rises along some small streams. So the flooding could be significant in places that have already been soaked this month and then receive multiple rounds of drenching thunderstorms this week. A wedge of hot, dry air should protect flood devastated areas of central Texas for a string of days into this weekend. However, a thunderstorm downpour zone will exist farther to the west, and a tropical rainstorm will approach the central Gulf Coast states. As a storm in the jet stream moves northward from Mexico, it will result in a surge of thunderstorm activity in Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado, and possibly as far to the west as Nevada and southeastern California as the week progresses. The setup is part of the North American monsoon, but with a boost from the jet stream storm. Throw in the arid and rugged landscape, the risk of flash flooding of areas and small streams will increase substantially. The flash flood risk will not be limited to recent burn scar locations. Along with some fluctuation from year to year, the number of flash flood incidents is likely to continue rising. The combination of urban development, reduced permeable land surfaces, aging, outdated drainage infrastructure, and a warming climate capable of holding more atmospheric moisture is accelerating the frequency and severity of flash flood events across many parts of the nation. And as I've said many times before, this is exactly the sort of thing that the men of the Lord are speaking on. But nobody wants to listen. The men of the Lord have been saying that there were going to be a lot more storms and tempests and, things of that nature. But now people are experiencing it. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And clearly that's what the Lord is doing. Tornadoes, hurricanes, tropical storms, flash floods. These are what the Lord is visiting these different areas with. Isaiah 28:2, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And the Lord has just been hitting certain areas with a lot of rain, which is resulting in a lot of floods. Psalms 83:14, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And so look here. Anyone with eyes to see can see that that's what's taking place. The Lord is just continuing to dish out these storms and tempests upon these wicked cities and these wicked people, causing destruction and death. Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Hegayon Selah. This is the judgment of the Lord. The storms, the tempests, the fires, the earthquakes, the volcano eruptions, all of these different events are from the Lord. And they're going to get worse. And the men of the Lord have been speaking on this. So when people are acting like, oh, the meteorologists are the ones who are bringing this to light, in reality, they're not, because the men of the Lord were speaking on it well in advance. People are just starting to feel it more than they were back then. Yeah, but all of these different storms and tempests that have been happening, these are the judgments of the Heavenly Father. It's not Mother Nature, it's not climate change, it's not global warming. Not saying that those, climate change and global warming, that it's not a thing, it is, but it always goes back to the Lord. He's the one who makes things happen. It's just these simple-minded people who can't wrap their head around that. But that's okay, because those who are meant to understand, and those who don't, they're just going to die. And that's just the reality of it. But with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash, the water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are still fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. And shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Until next time, shalom.